So today we'll be talking on building career in cyber and digital forensics. Actually, these are interchangeable words, but I would like to go with the word digital forensics because it encompasses cyber and other digital, you can say, artifacts which are associated. So we'll be speaking on this. Firstly, a disclaimer to all of you, whatever I'll be discussing today is nothing to do with my profession, which I am practicing as of now. And it mostly from open source and few are my thoughts for the future in this particular field. Finding an answer is very difficult when it comes to career. And especially after you have homed on to a particular career when someone has told you. And when we speak of digital forensics, so most of the queries or questions which come to your mind are, how do I get into this field? What answer people who are actually working or who are, you can say, doing some internship, they also have questions like, what is my core expertise, or am I expert in this field, and what is the future in digital forensics? And there are many other questions that, how can I reflect in my resume that I have deposed as expert witness? This is after you have actually, you can say, practiced on, you have some experience behind you. Most of the people also ask queries such as online courses, internship experience. What gets me to the league, to the expert league? Means how can I get into that particular league? So I try to answer most of these questions here. Also, one of the questions which actually means people want to ask is, what is the difference between me and Mr. X, who when it comes to a specialization part as such, right? So this will be answering, and what I expect today's takeover should be is the CAPS format, that is staying ahead of the curve. In this field, as like other fields, you have to stay ahead of the curve. You can only stay ahead of the curve if you know how the curve looks like. Secondly is to improve ability as an investigator. This is for the people who are actually into this field or who have already gained some experience, say initial 2 to 5 years of experience. Next is the predict future trends in the digital forensics and incident response. This is very, very important because you should actually predict the future trends which are going to be there, and you should plan your career in that manner. Next is regarding select the right path. Now, selecting the right path, there are many people who will actually tell you about the right paths, but it's you who have to select the path and actually take that particular path. So these are few things which I would like to cover in today's talk. Again, with a case study, I would like to start to keep it more interesting for the students who are, you can say, the new entrants in this particular field, or who have just heard about it and joined today's session. This is about one of the phones which was received as the labs, and we had some inputs that this particular mobile phone, was used to carry out some anti-social activities. Now, when we do mobile forensics, it's one of the disciplines of digital forensics, which I'll be covering later. There are few methods, tricks which we carry out. So, but after doing the logical and file system extraction, those who are into forensics will understand these terms. We could not find any of these or multimedia components in that particular phone. But once we analyzed the APK files, these are the executable files within the phone, we were able to find out that there were 2 calculator applications which were installed in the phone. They were visible also. And after analyzing the 2, you can say the applications, one was normal, and of course the second one had some malicious intent. And the second one, which had a malicious intent, was locked with a pin. It had a code. It looked something like this. Now, when you see this, a normal person will not find something fishy, but you can see an investigator or an analyst, for that matter, what people mostly refer in the field of digital forensics. If he has an eye, he can usually find out that there's something fishy, or there's something which he can get to know about more. So after doing the physical extraction, now when I said about logical extraction, it is basically, you can say the present contents of the phone. And when I say the physical extraction, it means the deleted contents also of the phones can be extracted. And after we are able to get the configuration file, when we saw the configuration file as such, we could actually home on to some string of, you can say, which we thought could be a password. If you see something which is highlighted on your screen, MPass, some, you can say, digits of 192231. What we did is, we actually used this as an input to the locked particular calculator application, and we were able to get access to the secret vault which was there, and all the multimedia files, and what was initially thought of, it was this particular device was used for anti-national activities, were able to be, proved by the investigating officer. So this is how interesting this field is, if you actually know what you have to do it, or the right way to do it. So, and again, I always speak, the people who have heard me before also will say that there should be, or you should have a particular passion and patience to actually enter this field, because the people who are in a hurry, or I give you example of the jobs when I started this talk. So if you have patience, forensics is all about patience. There is no time limit. You cannot give a time bound answer to a question which is posed to you. But if you do it in the right way, and if you have the right skill set, you will actually get where you want to go. Now speaking of the cyber forensic career, people actually have to be aware of what actually cyber forensics is, or digital forensics is. Now, as I said, it is interchangeably used. So I'll be referring to mostly as digital forensics in this talk of mine. And a few people also want to know, okay, how is it different from DFIR, digital forensics and incident response. But let me tell you in a very short, because today is not a talk on digital forensics as such. It's basically a part of incident response. Forensics is a part of incident response, and it's a niche field, or a total, you can say total different field in itself when it comes to forensics as such. So it is also part of incident response, and it has a independent identity also. Now, if you should also have the desire, do you really want to be the one? Because as I said, if you don't have the desire, you will not be able to achieve success in this particular field. Knowledge, if you take the right path, if you have the proper knowledge, if you have the proper qualification, then you will be there. Ability, you should be continuously working on your ability. And reinforcement, what all have you done to actually achieve what you desire? So that is very important aspect when you're actually dealing with your own career. So let's go ahead. Now on the screen, if you see, there are so many disciplines. I call them disciplines in cyber forensics or digital forensics. Initially, it started with only computer forensics or storage media forensics or host forensics, which people refer in different this. But when you speak of storage media, now it has much more, you can say, wide view. Anything which can store is considered under storage media. Also, people used to work on memory forensics, and of late, people are also are used to something called as mobile forensics. So these two things, which I am categorizing as computer forensics and mobile forensics, were there or are there for a longer time. And the people who actually came into this forensics field are aware of these two things in much detailed manner. But the new things which have come up due to, you can say, the spread of technology, the networking, the internet, are, you can say, the disciplines like network forensics, cloud forensics. We also come to automotive forensics, satellite forensics, drone forensics, SCADA, IoT, GPS, and many more, which I'll be discussing later when I'll be speaking of future forensics as such. So you see that the disciplines are, there are many more which are getting added to this particular, you can say, web of digital forensics. Now, many people have also say to me, I am a digital forensic analyst with just 2 to 5 years of experience. Yes, of course, that person is. But I still prefer that no one can master all the fields in one go. So it's better if you qualify, or if you actually have specialization in a few disciplines of this particular vast field, which is a niche field, of course. So let's go ahead. Now, I always refer to the T model. In fact, today I was on LinkedIn and I was trying to, get a discussion on between generalization and specialization. People have different views. I also have my different view. But I feel the people who want to enter this field should follow the T model. Now, if you have look at the shape of the T, it is basically has a line on the top, and then you have a, so I'll explain it in forensic term. You have to have knowledge across the disciplines. If you are a digital forensic analyst, if I'm a digital forensic analyst, I should know all the disciplines. I should know about cloud forensic, network forensic, IoT, SCADA, dark web, whatever it is. But while you should drill deep into one specialization, like as of now, I can say that I am with 20 years plus of experience. I can say that I am good computer forensics professional, mobile forensic professional, network and cloud and drone to some extent. So, but other fields are also coming up. So, having a knowledge of that, gaining knowledge as a continuity training is a must. But if you want to actually continue in this field, I would like to tell you, please drill deep into one or two of the specialization which will keep you afloat, right? You should narrow your scope. People have different opinion again, but I believe in narrowing the scope in this particular field, because if you don't narrow the scope, it is very difficult to actually sustain or you be seen also, for that matter. And as I started with the specialization better than generalization, again, people may have different view, but this is my opinion about this particular topic, because once I started the topic on LinkedIn today, a lot of people had different opinions, and quite praiseworthy that they had justification for their, taking a particular stand too. Now, coming to the skills required. Now, a lot of people, or a lot of, you can say, entities have put the skill set required. If you go to NIST program also, there's a workforce document also which is there. They have the skill set which have been put on record. But according to me, these are few skill set like knowledge about forensics, very much required. Especially, you should know cybersecurity as a subject. If you know, like if it said, if you know how to means attack, then only you can defend the network. Similarly, I'm not saying, but you should know cybersecurity as a whole. Then you should have analytical skill. Analytical skills are very much important aspect of you becoming a very good digital forensic analyst. Then technical skills. Again, usually when I talk to students or to the academia or to the industry, I always stress on this. Again, today is not the topic of discussing this in detail, but you should have the technical skills, analytical skills, and how they come, we'll see later. One aspect which people usually tend to forget while actually want to jump the ship or come to this particular side of digital forensics is it's a techno-legal field. I always called it. Again, people have different opinion, but I consider it as a techno-legal field, because you should know the cyber laws, because your final product is going to be your report which has to stand the legal scrutiny in the court of law. If the law of the land doesn't actually accept or is not able to understand what you're trying to put across, then it's no use of we as forensic analysts doing all this, you can say, burning our midnight oil for that matter. Communication skills are very much important, but these come later in the stage when you have put in 5. Again, I said when you are in the senior lot, you have put in 5+ years or 10+ years of service. At entrance level also communication skills are important, but they don't matter more as per me, because the person who's preparing report or speaking in the courts or going to the courts, he requires more communication skills when he is actually there, or when he's trying to put his point across or justify his report or stand by his report. Passion and patience, these have always been my, two words which I always refer, so I'll just keep it. Now coming to this part, qualification certification. I have always been a strong proposer that you don't require a bachelor's or master's to be in the field of digital forensics, but it's with the rider. Why am I saying this? The people with diploma or +2 also can be a part of the forensic, you can say, model. For example, if you are a normal diploma in IT who understand computers, networks, and with, of course, with few certifications and courses, you can do the task of the first responder and lab assistant, which are also technical tasks to some extent. But if you're a bachelor or a master's, if you have pursued this, you have much more, you can say, responsible and accountable tasks to do, because you can be a digital forensic analyst of various disciplines. Now, let me tell you, when you actually do your bachelor's and when you specialize in a particular discipline, like a particular say Mr. X is a computer forensic expert, Mr. Y is a mobile forensic expert, or Mr. Z is a cloud forensic expert. So there are so many, you can say, categories in which you can do. And after a particular time frame, of course, you can depose as expert witness if the courts allows you. This is a different topic in itself. So I'll not go again in detail in this topic also. Master also will help you. But in addition, if you have done masters and bachelors also can get you the field of research and development when it comes to digital forensic. Certifications are required because there's no structured training for digital forensics at any of the educational institutions. So I believe that certification are very much required for entrance also and for continuity training also, which is a major thing when it comes to being relevant in this particular field. Internship is must for getting hands-on and getting a job. Now again, it's very much important because this is such a field where you'll not get to work on live cases if you don't have an internship. And let me tell you, there is a problem here. Many students or many people, they don't get internships, and there is a problem because the problem comes that no one would like to share his live cases with you. But if you get it, it's a golden opportunity. You should not miss it. The next question people ask me is, sir, I'm not getting a paid internship. I would like to say, even if you get a normal internship, you have actually hit golden. So you should actually go for it. And lastly, mentorship must. I think 3 words are sufficient to tell you what I want to say. Now, just considering a few things. I'm only taking a cyber forensic lab, very a small part of your, you can say, various job profiles which are existing in this particular field. In a normal lab, these are so many job profiles which are available. You have the first responder who is there. You have the, you can say, lab assistant, you have the quality manager, you have the technical manager, you have the forensic analyst. Now, if you browse through these profiles, you'll find that they have a very different roles to play in the lab. So when I said about the qualification, that different qualifications fit different job roles in one single lab also. So you can see that there's a job role which is there for offering. So there are, because people are not aware of such job roles present. Okay, now I just wanted to flash, how does a forensic lab look like? Whether it's a private, whether it's a government lab, or whether it's a FSL. You see, a normal lab, a good, or you can say it should look like this. You have a senior forensic analyst, then you have a quality manager, you have a technical manager, that is a you can say a digital forensic analyst, senior analyst, I'll call it here. And if you depending on the scope, like as I said, team A is only dealing with computer forensic, team B is dealing with mobile forensic, team C is dealing with cloud forensic. Now, even if I take 2 teams of, say, computer and mobile forensic, till you have a manpower of approximately 15 people. So this is where you have a big role to play. Means everyone has a role. You can fit in somewhere, right? So it's not that it's one single person in the lab who's actually calling the shots. So I have put this slide only to make you understand that there are a lot of job profiles or where you can fit into within the lab. And you have to see where you can fit into it. This is my way of putting it across. There may be many more also, right? So let's go ahead. Now, one more thing is other job profile. Like the most requirement of a forensic analysis with the, of course, with the incident response team. The law enforcement, the normal police on ground require first responders. They don't get it. So you can have a job of a first responder with the law enforcement agency or the cyber cell. Someone just posed a question, how do I get into a cyber cell? I will answer this question later. But if you actually qualify in a particular, you can say, skill set, you can of course be, if you qualify as a first responder, of course you can be employed as a first responder with the law enforcement agency. The investigating officer also has to have the digital forensic skill set. The other job profiles are the cyber lawyers, academia. Most important I consider is academia, because these are people who are supposed to train and get good, you can say, students with with this particular skill sets, varied skill set. And of course, there are integrators who provide tools and services. They also are people who know forensics and who have actually worked on this particular field. So there are various job profiles, because most of the people again say is that that they don't have they don't know about the job profile. Now regarding the hiring agencies, there are so many hiring agencies. You have the law enforcement agencies, you have the defense forces, private firms, computer forensic science laboratories, freelancers, academia. Now one more discussion I was having on LinkedIn a few days back. I started a series called as 25 days 25 questions. In that I had asked about deposing as an expert witness. So many of them had an opinion that a person, if a lab is notified, then only you can depose as expert witness. But no, I have a different opinion. Even if you are a freelancer and you have some expertise or experience behind you, and if you have worked on some live cases, you also can depose as expert witness or as a second opinion in the court. So there are a lot of hiring agencies, academia. I see in colleges, engineering college, wherever I go, in my also US colleges, there are not many people to teach this particular subject. So there are a lot of hiring agencies which are there. Now this was one article which I had put on a blog, and I just wanted to share some screenshot. But it's too early for people who are new entering into the field to actually feel happy about this particular slide as such, because these are few agencies which have put what is your worth. Now if this is basically a global trend specifically to the US and the Europe, if you see a normal digital forensic analyst, he actually gets a handsome amount, right? And if you are an expert with say 10 plus years of service, then actually you are actually worth can I say worth gold. So again, this is only can be achieved with passion and patience. But let me give you a rider here. There are very few people you find in the bracket of experts with 10 plus years of service or 20 plus years of service. That's why you see so much, you can say, high salaries which are paid to these people, because there are very few people. And here also, let me tell you, it varies with qualification, area of expertise, skill set, and experience. All this, there has to be amalgamation of all this factor. Now also let me tell you India trend, because people mostly, no one had ever done this, so people wanted to know what is the Indian context of it. So I tried to go into more details of it and try to get an Indian trend out of it. And because most are the new entrants, as I said, there are very few people who are into the category of 10 plus or 20 plus who are there. So I split it into, say, from 0 to 2 years, who have just come out and who are doing the internship. So they are basically, I classify them paid or non-paid interns. So if a person has done the internship, and this is after interacting with the academia, even in the industry, they get a pay scale. This is per annum, by the way, right? So they get up to 0.8 lakhs Indian currency. I'm speaking of to 2 lakhs, means approximately 7 to 10,000 rupees per you can say month as an internship, whatever you call it, internship or a pay, whatever you're calling it. And there's nothing bad to learn, because the curve will become more steep after a few years of your specialization and after you have actually drilled down, as I said in the start. If you go to 3 to 5 years of experience and you have some, again, this is with, if you have a expertise in a particular discipline. And these people, the figures which I've taken are from few of my students, of you who I mentored, and they are now working in, say, big fours or multinational, and they have given me these figures of their present salaries which they are getting. So 3 to 5 years, they are drawing 5 lakhs to 12 lakhs, and even if to 10 years to 25 lakhs. Now, if you see, it's much less than the global trend. This is because India is a country where you will see after some time there will be a lot of professionals, even in this field, who will be coming up, right? So, and plus you can say this field is still evolving, right? The scope is still evolving. Disciplines of expertise people are also less. Now, if you see 10 plus and 20 plus, I'll say 20 plus here the bracket, it is actually matching the global trend. It is actually matching the global trend, because as I said, there are very few or nil professionals in this particular field. Not even, I'll say not even two digits within India, if I have to say, or the person whom I know, maybe there may be more, but to my knowledge, there may be not even 2 figures, means going to, but it matches the global trend. That what you see here is key. If you have a particular skill set, experience, then of course in years to time, and this is going to change. It is flexible. This is the latest which I've said to you. Now, people also say something about this. They say, sir, is that only the profile? Then I say there are other job profiles. So the people are into sales. They are into sales, like technical support, senior support. So this is the profile. Means if you have some knowledge, if you are not a BTech, if you are a diploma holder and you go into sales, this is what is the trend in India. So if you have to around 5 to 10 years, then you have around means 7 to 12 lakhs of salary people are giving. Academia is also quite interesting. Means academia, I feel they should be given more than what is seen on the screen. But yes, this is the present what people have told me. This is all again from open source. And training. Now there are people who are giving freelance training. So it's people are given an hourly basis. So forensics as a service also, in terms of giving even service of investigation also and service of training also. So people charge 1 to 2,000 per hour, and if few people who have good experience, they charge 10 to 20,000 and even more. I know of people more, but I've kept it a reasonable figure here. So the reality is degree certificates are get pass, which are very much required. Word of mouth matters still in this particular, you can say, niche field. Participation is the key, and keep on adding the knowledge. Knowledge is never ending. Continuity and continuity training is required. Someone has a mic on. I think, can we have the mic off, please? Okay. Now, what I usually tell people: read, write, be seen. This is how you can actually survive in this field. You have to read, write, seen. How you do it in a small manner. People in South India are still very comfortable with writing English. In North India, people are not that comfortable. But I tell them, even if you can write a small blog, if you can write a view, even if you can post a comment to a LinkedIn post related to a digital forensics or to a, you can say, Quora post, it will actually build your expertise. So this is very much required and it has to be done. The roadmap, which I feel is, see, qualification I've already discussed. This is the first step. Second is certification, which is again the must from reputed global institution. Narrow scope, select your discipline. That's the second step. I feel, see, there's no standard thing. These are my views I'm putting across, which over the years of experience have come and which I've tried to put it on a screen, viewfield. Internship must for handling actual cases. Job, you can have jobs. I've just discussed of the various job profiles, but all the way you require a mentor. Please find a mentor, anyone. Next is what will make a difference. This is what the talk is all about today. See, when we started with forensics, or when I started with forensics, we knew about computers, then mobiles came in, we learned to mobiles, cloud came in, we are learning cloud. But now what if you want to see you yourself 5 years down the lane, you should know about this: IoT forensics, cryptography forensics, drones, virtual machines, deepfakes, audio video forensics, artificial intelligence, machine learning in forensics, dark web forensics. So you have to actually look for the future. See, that will make the difference. Just because I'm saying or what the present trend is, it's okay. You have to learn that. That will form the base. But you have to know more. Am I audible? Can someone just confirm, please? Just because it's here in Delhi, there may be break in audio.
Yes, you're very audible, Santosh. All good.
Pardon me, because it's raining in Delhi, so maybe my voice might break, but I'll try to finish it off as early as possible. No, so as I said, you have to, this will make the difference. You have to think 5 years down the lane. Your mentor can only guide you. See, if as I started with, someone asked me, can I get a job? I said, I can help you, but I can't give you a job. But if you think on these lines, okay, I'll study something about these topics, maybe near future, no one has studied. You are drilling down a particular, I was speaking of drilling down. So you drill down into this particular domain, and you'll surely survive. You'll not only, you can say, stay afloat, but you will move with tremendous speed in this particular field. And globally, let me tell you, no one is thinking on these lines. I do watch global trends. People are doing much better than what we are doing in our country. They have much more better technology. Yes, but it is one-off. It has not come it has not come as a wave. So it's in India, we can get it as a wave. You can get skilled manpower. We can actually give skilled manpower globally. So that's what I dream of. being in this field and as a mentor or as a being one of the person who jumped in first or one of the first. So I feel that we have that potential. So you should be looking into this. Now, one more thing, I'll come to questions directly because I'll answer the questions and questions seem to be interesting always for me. I've tried to put across one thing to you. Let me sum it up that this is a very niche field. You have to strive hard. You have to have some patience, and patience will of course pay off. But okay, and let me tell you one more thing. There are no free lunches. Nothing comes for free. Because if you have to learn something, I can mentor you as free, but someone who wants to give you training, he'll not give training or say a certification. This is because it's a niche field. Come, you should understand, it's a very niche field. It has to evolve. Maybe after a few years, it might, it's like, telephones, they were first STD booth, it was charging. I used to call charge so much. Now cell phones are free of charge, maybe near future. And COVID has brought the best. You're getting free training, free mentoring from everywhere. This is the best thing. But I'm available for any comments, and whatever you want, you can ask me to the best of the knowledge. And means I can share anything, whatever I know. It's as I said, even I try to learn from students. People pose a lot of such difficult questions. I have to go back and to my drawing table and actually have to learn. I actually have to go back and try to find out what they're speaking of. And sometimes people call me to talk on such a topic that I have to actually spend at least a week before I actually go and speak. So this is how the field should evolve. So please go ahead and ask questions. I will love to answer the questions. And I'll just stop my screen share. Right. I'll just stop the screen share and I will. I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Santosh, for the very insightful and educational talk. Mr. Praveen, we can now have the Q&A session.
Praveen, before we start, I would just like to say, because as I said, it's raining here. If I get disturbed, you can compile the question and mail it to me because the core part is over. But in case that happens, it should not happen, but in case it happens, we can do that. You should have a plan B in place, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Sure.
So I'm going to, we have received some questions over emails, and we also have one chat message, and there's some more coming up. So let me go through some of these questions very quickly. So one question that came up was, in particular, you have attended Carnegie Mellon University and experienced the learning there in this area. So the question is, how was your experience and what value does it add?
Okay, I actually never expected this question as such to come, but seeing the your backdrop, I think you have asked this question. But anyway, let me tell you, it was a great opportunity for being there in Pittsburgh and learning at Carnegie Mellon University, the birthplace of internet or cyber, whatever you call it. I came to know when I reached there, and usually I was very overwhelmed by the response which we got, right? And the learnings was tremendous. But I would like to focus only on the digital forensic aspect part, which I learned there. I think if I'm not wrong, Professor Richard is there. If I'm not wrong, I'm forgetting his name, sorry. But we were taken into depth of digital forensics, and it was really a great learning. It's a lifetime event, I'll call it. I don't know whether I'll get an opportunity ever again, but it was a lifetime moment for me to learn from such a prestigious institute, because I had only read and heard about it. But when I landed, I learned, and the best part is when I came there, I was able to contribute also to it. So when I came there, I had an interaction with the faculty members. They were also very happy that some people from India also know this particular topic and they can contribute to this field. So that was the best part of it, of learning about digital forensics. And apart from that, we also learned a lot of things related to cyber, which I'm not go into now. But to sum it up, it was a wonderful experience. I would love to be back there sometime, but let's see. Who knows?
All right. So thank you, Santosh. So the next question is about there is this cyber defense and cyber forensics. And there's a question about what is the difference when it comes to the professional world, the real world. Is there a real difference, or?
See, let me put it very, let me put it differently. When you speak of cyber as a domain, it's an umbrella. There are various verticals under it. You have the defense also, you have the offense. So I'll speak of the defense. Within defense, you have a lot of other sub verticals, like you have, say, the audit, you have the penetration testing, you have the R&D, you have the application testing, then you have, you can say, forensics. So these forensics is a part of, you can say, umbrella, which is a part of cyber forensics as such. But it's a niche field in itself, as I said, and it majorly forms a part of incident response. Whenever an incident occurs, when an incident team goes, a forensic analyst or the forensics is a part of that particular thing. But again, as I said, it is an independent entity also. The reason is because if you see the cases which are happening in the, you can say, in the digital world, like cybercrime, espionage, you can say forgery, credential theft, where the law enforcement agencies are deal. That is not an incident, part of incident response. So these are independent cases which comes to you, and then you're actually sitting and solving that. So that's why I said it's an independent entity also, and it's a part of a bigger incident response, you can say sub-vertical within the, you can say cyber defense, or you can say proactive defense, whatever you call it. So this is where cyber forensic fit. It's a very niche field, let me tell you. Very few people confuse it between audit. Cyber audit is totally different. Cyber forensic is totally different. I categorize as audit is, you can say, a minuscule part of forensics, which is also required at some moment of time when you go for incident response.
Thank you. So there are several questions related to career switches, and I'm going to kind of summarize it and ask you this question in the interest of time. So I think the questions that we are getting are more like, okay, I'm a software engineer. Now I want to switch careers and pursue this path. What would your advice be? And similarly, if I'm not in the computer science domain, can I actually pursue this career? And the third part is, there are three parts. The third part is, I've done forensic science in my undergraduate. And now if I have to do cyber forensics, what would be the path?
See, firstly, you can reskill from any domain if you are in the IT domain, firstly, whether it's computer science or any other domain. Even forensic science, for that matter, you can still reskill yourself. Now, let me tell you about what I've been saying is, I am a firm believer with people. Most of the people don't believe that, as I started with saying, you don't require BTechs and bachelors and masters to be into this field. There's a scope for other people also who have pursued their education up to diploma level, +2 level. They also have a role to play within a forensic field. Now, if you want to actually come into this field, what I will say is, you have the you can say the base. You have to specialize in a discipline. That's what I was saying in the drilling. You're on the top of the T. So just drill into few disciplines and you can just hop onto it, right? One thing is that. Second thing is mentoring is the most important thing. I keep on stressing this thing. If you find a good mentor, he will actually guide you how to go about. So if you have a computer background, if you have a networking background, if you have a cyber security background, because if you are into any cyber field, means anything related to cyber or information technology, you can easily hop on. But again, you have to do a few specific courses. You have to find a good mentor, and internship will hold the key. Here, you have to get better internship so that you can push into this particular field. There was also, I want to tell you of people who are not related to computers, means who are like forensic science people who are not into IT as such, because forensic science has a base of IT, but still they're into some other ballistics or they're into some other kind of forensic science. They too can, firstly, I would say that those fields are also very niche, and if they can be there, nothing like that. But if you want to shift into digital forensics, because each and every case has a forensic digital element to it, and forensics is required out of that. So they also can get into this field, and it is much easier for them to get into this because they understand the concept of forensics. Like they know the procedures, they know the legal part of it. They just have to again specialize themselves or again, narrow the scope, get into the field. And the last slide which I showed about, try to get into this, okay, if there's some fields which they are doing at present and which overlaps digital forensic fields, why not do that? So that's the way they can get into the field and then go into core digital forensics as such. One question I would like to answer, because someone who followed me on LinkedIn, he personally messaged to me also, I followed you on LinkedIn, I have come here, so I want the answer, how to get into a cyber cell. It's a very basic question, but let me tell to that person, I don't remember the name, that see friend, it's like this, as I told you, if you are a qualified person, you have a particular skill set, you can even go and drop your resume to the nearest cyber cell, because the law enforcement agencies, now every district in India is having a cyber cell. So maybe whenever required, they may ask your assistance. And if they have some internships, or if they have some thing to offer, they'll surely offer it to you. That's one way of getting into the cyber cell. The second way of getting into cyber cells is there are now open internships which are being offered. Like if you go to Bombay, that Maharashtra Cyber Cell is offering internships. So you join those internships, and then you can be a part of the cell. They can absorb you temporarily or permanently. As I say, the curve is flat at the start in this field, but it exponentially rises after some, say, 2 years or 3 years of your experience in this field. So getting into cyber, and okay, let me also tell you, it doesn't look that simple also, as I'm saying. You have to put in some effort, but if you approach few cyber cells, they will surely take into cognizance. And there are a lot of people who are, you can say, mentoring or asking for freelancing. If you're a freelancer, cyber cells still approach you. They approach you, they find you, they'll approach you in the AOI. In fact, I'm working on few concepts of finding, so that the cyber cells can locate forensic analysts within their, you can say, area of, say, 5 kilometer radius or something like that. So many people are working on that, and you will surely get it. You'll get a job into a cyber cell. So that is regarding a cyber cell. Yes, please. Next question.
So there are a few questions related to colleges that offer digital forensics. Which colleges are the ones to look at?
I'm not marketing anyone, by the way, but I'll still answer the question. So anyway, so regarding colleges, I would like to put across, there are very few colleges within the country who actually provide good forensic, you can say, training or education. There are few which have education, but least to mention is Gujarat Forensic Science University, which gives forensics in bachelor's and master's in forensics. Then we have, I'm speaking only of government institutions today. There are private colleges also which are there, which give, very few of them, by the way, very few of them. In fact, I have been advocating them to start courses related to forensics. You know, let's see if they pick up this. Madras University has a cyber forensics special. Dr. Kala is there, a good friend of mine. So Madras University has. There are few universities. CDAC Trivandrum is a center of excellence for digital forensics in India. There are many CDACs, but CDAC Trivandrum is the nodal agency for forensics in India. But yeah, at the global level, CMU, I'd like to grade one of the colleges which is there. Then we have some ones in Australia. I think Charles Stewart University is there, who also gives forensic courses as such. But still, I have to see any college. Let me be any college to give you the futuristic courses and drill down approach. Again, I'm saying drill down approach. See, if I have 30 students in my class who are doing bachelor's or in MTech, before graduating them, I would like to put them 10-hour computer forensic expert, 10-hour mobile forensic expert, 10-hour, you say area specialized. That day will be the best day for this field actually, because you actually are again narrowing the scope. So even that particular graduate gets, means when he goes out, he's gone out with some, you can say, apart from the master's label, he has some specialization label attached to him. So there are colleges, and many colleges are coming up. There are private colleges also, but I just spoke about government colleges, and I am not promoting any college, as I said, but these are which are available to you, resources. The people can go. One thing I would like to tell the students, India is a developing country. People have limitations. But I would say that forensics is a bit means it costs courses, but if you get an admission to government colleges, it might help you during a bachelor's and all. But again, you should specialize. That's what I would like to say. I hope I've answered this question.
Yes, I think so too. So there's one more question which I would post, and then I think we are getting close to the time. So this is about, you mentioned that internships, having a portfolio of work in this area is so important. If I'm not able to get an internship in any of the organizations, are there any ways in which I can, like for example, for software engineers, you do open source. Can I do something to build up a portfolio?
Yes, you can. R&D is a field, you can. That's why I said, of course you can. You can develop your own framework. I know few students who are developing their own framework. So there's Skill India, Digital India. You can say there are many initiatives just started by the Indian government. And that apart, even you can start on your own. If you see, few people came to me and they said, sir, we are not getting internship. I just told them, 5 of you get together and do something as a startup. It will not cost you any more, or you form a team, or you form a startup. You can still go ahead. But internships are hard to come, but there are internships available if you actually go. But a particular lab cannot give hundreds of student internship. They can hardly accommodate 4, 5 to 10 people maximum, because they have their core job to do also. So we should give them their due also. But if you find it, I said, you have hit the gold mine. That's what I can say. And stick. You should stick to your mentor. If you stick to a person, if he has the opportunity, he'll offer it to you. If you stick to a university, or if you're part of a university group, if university gets some internship, it will offer to you, or your college gets. So you have to stick to someone. Be there. You used to play the 3-legged race in school days. So you have to stick to someone so that he pulls you or you pull him. So that's the way to go. Although this maybe like other fields, they are open fields. You get a lot of internships. But here, if you get, means you should do it. And the people who can give internship, I would request them to give internships. This is my just humble request to the industry and all. If you can give industry, even see, you don't need an internship in a government sector. You can have in the private sector. You can have the publication sector. If someone say like is publishing a digital forensic magazine, or digital forensic, someone is writing a book for Springer. You can have internship with them, being a part of writing a book, writing a blog. If some research is going, contributing to a research. So this is internship. It's not going to the lab. Of course, doing our live cases is there, which I firmly believe. But these are also internships. You're learning a lot. If someone is just giving say 10 seconds of his day to you by replying to you, it's a big thing. Let me tell you, if it's a very big thing. So, but again, a request to people, and especially the training institution, I would request, please tie up with people who can give internship. That is one more aspect to it. You should tie up with people so that after you give training, you can actually tell the people, okay, these are the few 10 people who can give you internship. And maybe out of the 100 people you are graduating, at least 10 get in this 10 particular thing. So this is a small step, baby steps, I'll call it, way to actually catch hand of other and take ahead. Means in this field, that's the way, one way ahead, right? So that's how internships are there. But internships are there. Let me tell you very clearly, they are available.
Thank you, Mr. Santosh, for answering all the questions.
There are no private questions before I quit, because I don't want to leave someone. So please, if you don't mind, I'll answer private questions which have been asked to you. I hope you don't mind.
Of course, please proceed.
Please go ahead.
Someone says colleges providing digital forensic courses have mentioned that eligibility is either computer specialization. Okay, that's why I said this is because you must have asked for doing a master's or a bachelor's or master. So if you have a basic IT computer science background, do courses. They are from reputed institute. You need not go back to that particular college and try to do a master's. If you have a bachelor's in say computer science or some IT, you have MSCs and BSCs in India, Bachelor of Computer Sciences also. So you better do courses and then specialize. There are many ways. Like I'll give my biggest example is the person who's speaking to you now. I have not done my master's, but that time masters were not required, field was not there. But even in bachelor's, you go on, you can do, even with some background, you can go ahead. So once you get into this area of specialization, then it hardly matters. Is the initial 2-5 years. So I would recommend to this person who has posed, Priyanka, I think, posed this question, please, you do some specialization courses and then you can go ahead. That's the way. So any more questions? Means if you have time, I don't mind.
I'm going to pose a question for you. You had something, Praveen?
I think it
please go ahead, Vijay.
Okay, I had a question from earlier on conversations with some candidates who are considering the program that Turnkey Learning is offering.
Okay, I'm not, what is the program about basically?
This is a computational forensics and artificial intelligence from Carnegie Mellon. So trying to use machine learning and neural networks and TOR services and so on and so forth. Basic idea being approaching the dark web, trying to deploy a dark website and then tracing the activities, and then using voice analysis and video and image analysis and text analysis using ML and neural networks. So the question is, how do you see, Mr. Santosh, the future of forensics using some sophisticated AI techniques to solve cases?
See, AI ML is the in thing. It's like you cannot miss the bus. AI in forensic, because there are few students who are also writing in how AI can be used in forensics, how ML can be used in forensic. These are the in things you should know. Even I'm trying to learn something about it. Very truthful, because gone are the days. Now I'll give a simple example. Initially, when we did our investigation, we used to have 1 or 2 devices per case. Now we get 200 devices per case. And the data is so humongous, and you can say, for example, keyword search of say 100 TBs of data. How do I do it? So if someone can develop some solutions which have some AI ML component of it, it will be a great contribution to the digital forensic community. Of course, people are working on different fields for AI and ML. But even someone should work for digital forensic community also. Yeah, we should have people working on it. And it is the near future. I see it. That's why I did mention it on one of my slides.
Yes.
But how far and how, I'll not say how far, how early we are able to achieve that is the thing to see, I think. But yeah, we should, I am a strong believer, we should go ahead. People should get trained in it. People should contribute. There may be a few initial hurdles, but yes, we should.
Okay. I thought that is a good answer. Particularly, I think the Priyanka question is also partially answered there, where you're talking about you could do these smaller courses if you're not doing the master's in forensics or some diploma in forensics. Some of these short courses should help as well. Just wanted to put it out there that we can always have conversation with those who are interested. And also, I take this opportunity.
Can I just have one last word? Firstly, I came for the talk session because of Vijay, a true friend of mine. I never knew that CMU is offering such courses in computational forensics as such. But anyway, I usually go and talk. I like to speak to students, industry, and to share my experience. So that's the way I'm here. That's why I'm speaking to you. That's what I want to say before Vijay concludes this session. Thank you.
Sure. Over back to you, Praveen.
Yeah, thank you, Vijay. I think there are some, I think we have covered a broad set of questions related to, career in cyber forensics. I think if I may summarize, one very key takeaway that you're mentioning is, Santosh, passion and patience, right? These are two key qualities that you really need to have in this field, because otherwise, it might really test you. So that's one key takeaway. Second one is build a portfolio. Get yourselves involved in solving a lot of problems. Build this portfolio to tell the world that you're really an expert in a particular area. So that says not only know the general topics, but also take a deep dive into some specific area so that people really know that you're probably the best in the world in that area.
You have arrived.
That's what you really want to try and achieve. Thank you so much. I think these are very good inputs for people who are pursuing or aspiring to be, in this area. So with that, I would, there may be some very specific questions. What I would do is consolidate them as an email, and then we might send those responses. I will hand it over to Sirisha. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for calling.
Sirisha.
On a concluding note, we extend our gratitude to Mr. Santosh and Mr. Praveen for their valuable time and comprehensive inputs on the subject. And we also thank the audience for joining us in the informative session today. We hope to see you all in our upcoming webinar, which is on August 30th. Please visit Turnkey Learning's website at www.turnkeylearning.com for more details. Also, we have a team of counselors, Zaira, Mala, and Srilata, who are also part of the session, and they are happy to assist you with any information about the Computational Forensics and AI course, the offering by Carnegie Mellon University from the US. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.